So another part of being in Tanzania is needing clean water to drink. You can't drink the tap water or else you could get giardia, and you don't want giardia. Had that, been there, done that, had the sulfur burps, and not something you want to experience. Anyway, so this is what we do. You got to boil the water bring it to a rolling boil at least for 1 minute to kill everything in the water. And then we bring it right over here to this guy and we get it all filtered. Then with the filtered water, we of course drink it, and we fill these guys up. I can't really see what I'm doing here. There we go. We fill all these up as we have no ice maker and put it right in here. So, another thing we take for granted in the US, clean ice maker that's pumping out clean water, ice made from clean water, and clean water coming out of the tap. So it's just another part of living abroad. Of course, a lot of the locals, the water out of the tap doesn't bother them because their stomachs are adjusted. So the water has now come to a rolling boil. I'm going to show you what that looks like. That right there is what you're going for. You will let it go for at least 1 minute in lower elevation, or 3 minutes if you're up in higher elevation. Then we're going to turn it off right down here and let it sit and cool to room temperature. Then go put it in the filter. All right, so now our water has cooled down and we are going to take it over to the filter. I'll show you exactly how we do this. So, all right, we're good to go. Now we're gonna take this over. Now we gotta filter it. We boiled it and killed all the bad guys in there. Now we gotta filter it out to make it a little cleaner. So, now we dump it in the Katahdin filter and let it work its magic.
It's a bit of a process. It takes a while for it to come to a rolling boil, and then for it to come to room temperature, it takes a couple hours.
Yes.
With a pot that size.
Honestly, it took it longer to come to a boil than I thought it would. But fills the water filter up, and now give it some time to filter through. We can go drink that water and know that we are not going to get sick from it. So one of the craziest things in Tanzania is these army ants. Look at how thick these army ants are. They have formed basically a tunnel. On the outside, the ants are making a wall on both sides. And then on the inside, the ants are moving on down the line. It's absolutely incredible. And these things hurt. Nannan just had a run-in with these crazy ants, and I want her to tell you what happened.
I went to hang up the clothes this morning, and I saw 2 big long lines of black soldier ants, and they're large, and they can hang on like crazy, and they're very aggressive if you bother them. Well, I wasn't meaning to bother them, so I stepped over the lines of them. The lines will be several hundred feet long, and they choose a leader, and the leader goes in front, and if something happens to him, they'll circle all around him trying to lift him up, and then they'll eventually go back to their colony, choose another leader, and start out again. Isn't that amazing? But this guy, I stepped over the lines of them. I went to hang up clothes on the clotheslines, and my vision's very poor, so I could not see any soldier ants. So I started hanging up the clothes. All of a sudden, I started feeling these horrible bites. And it's formic acid, you know, and it is, I mean, these things are big and they hurt like crazy. So I started moving around, and I moved around. I was trying not to holler to wake up the kids because I knew y'all could hear me.
Oh, we heard it.
I'm so sorry.
Isaac heard you, and we were like, maybe it's a dream.
We woke up to me and Isaac were sleeping
somebody
together.
going,
No, Isaac, stop. And me and Isaac woke up and we were to each other, and then she was screaming, and we thought she was like meeting one of her friends, because she loves meeting her friends.
Yeah.
Oh, hi! And then so we just went back to sleep because we thought it was a dream or she was meeting her friend or something.
I'm so
We
sorry.
know what happened.
So Babu heard me. I was trying to hang out the clothes and I kept moving around trying to get away from them, but they were biting my feet. So I'd be moving and trying to get them off of me and everything. And Babu came, and when he came, he started hanging up the clothes, and they got on him, and they were getting all over his feet. They got in his socks. They got up in his pants. And so I went trying to get to the door, and I was crying by then. They were hurting so badly. And one of them was up on my chest, on my back, and I was crying. And the guard heard me, and he came up, and he held on. Told me to stop, and I held on to him, and he reached down, and there were one or two right on top of my foot, and he pulled those off. And I went inside. I said, "Gauni," meaning dress, meant they're inside my dress. Gaunini, I guess I should have said. And so I got inside, tore off all my clothes, and I've been shaking out my clothes real hard, but those rascals hang on.
You were standing in a ball of them, right?
And Dr. Babu, when he got over there, he said I was standing in a ball of them, and I could not see them. So they were going crazy attacking me. Anyway, so I got inside, started tearing off all my clothes, shook everything out real well, and we were going to Monduli Jew to a Bible study, and it's cold. So I put on the warmest thing I had, which was the dress I had on, put it back on, had shaken it out real well, put it on, and all of a sudden I felt this horrendous bite on my chest. So those dudes hang on, so be careful. And I remember when Fleeby was a puppy, he didn't know about those ants, and he saw them in a big long line, you know, and he put his nose right, I was trying to get him not to, he put his nose right down on them. I'm sure they bit the tar out of him, because ever since then, when Fleeby would see them, he'd look at them and he'd go way around.
Fleeby was their German Shepherd.
Yeah, Fleeby was the German Shepherd. So then Dr. Danny Babu said, I'll go out and get the clothes this afternoon. Don't go. I'm going to put on my boots. So he went out there and put on his boots so they couldn't get up in his socks and pants and stuff. And he came back running, and he went running inside and threw the clothes on the front porch. And he went running inside, and they had gotten up inside his pants.
Relentless.
Oh, it was terrible.
These ants are relentless.
I saw y'all walking over there to go put out the clothes. I was awake, but I didn't hear
I'm
y'all
sorry.
yelling.
I'm
I
sorry.
heard somebody.
So,
Lee woke up
lesson,
and
watch
looked
out
at
for these crazy ants over
Yeah.
here. They are
Very
nothing to
aggressive.
take lightly.
Yes. Very aggressive.
There are some Christians in America who wanted to help the people here that each one have a Bible. So we're asking, this is Kiswahili, asking you to take a Bible if you need one. Everyone who needs a Bible, you're welcome. So pass to each person who needs one.
That's auntie. So this is my father, Dr. Danny Smelser, in the red, and my mother is behind the group giving hugs. They have worked in the Monduli area for over 15 years now and established the Alpha Omega Secondary School along with Tanzania Christian Clinic. To his left there in the suit coat is Kwameri. Kwameri is a Maasai man that has worked with Alpha Omega School and is also involved at the church on the Monduli Jew mountain. Monduli Jew is an area inhabited mostly by Maasai. I recently, on a solo trip to Africa, attended the market there where I went with Kwameri. We purchased a goat and ended up doing an epic barbecue on the side of the mountain. How amazing is it to see these Christians so hungry for the word of God in their local language of Kiswahili?